I've indicated here is that time is now for the African to fully exploit their enormous potential.
Thank you. You want as well? You feel like you need to? I will not stop you.
Change your mindset, all is possible.
Great. Let's move to our red. Who on the red table would like to share with us?
I've written here, Africa, you can make it, you have the potential.
Thank you. Do you feel like you want to speak, Mary?
Corruption-free leadership.
Corruption-free leadership. Blue.
Thank you, Jasotino. Mine is stability for the country.
It's also a very important one. Okay. Let's have two.
Mine, I think, is being the best that we can, given our circumstances.
And last but not least, who from the Green School wants to share?
My vision is that it is Kenya's turn to seize the visible opportunities.
Thank you. You want? Yeah, we need to have a second yellow opinion. Yes.
Integrity is the bottom line.
Thank you very much. One thing that set Tabichi apart from all the other teachers in the world was that he and 4 of his colleagues actually went to the homes and families of his pupils to see where the challenges were and how they could help. And before we go into the afternoon session that Tobias will lead, I would like us to also think about some of the challenges that might be out there with our farmers that we as a group, as a network, as a collaboration can address, all right? So we have those cocktail party tables over there. Each has the color of your fish. Please find yours. The pink one is outside. The red one is that one in the corner. Yeah? There is paper on the to use one sheet of paper for each challenge. So don't write several challenges on a paper. Use a new paper for each challenge, all right? You can discuss them as the group, you can decide on the challenge, or you can, whatever you feel as an individual, you can write it down. We will not read them out, we will put them on the wall later, all right? So please, each table, find your cocktail table, think about the challenges that farmers have and that we, as we are, may be able to address. Yeah? Please, help yourself. Any questions? Are you clear on the task? Okay. Yeah.
This is for you, right?
This comes later. Okay. Give us a second. This comes later. This comes later. We start over there. This comes in a minute. Tobias is going to run this. You'll return. After that, you return to your table. Yeah? We will continue working on our tables. You can do that there, you can do it here, however you feel most comfortable. You can also do that. Yes. You can take the whole bunch of papers. It's just like for each challenge that you identify, use a new paper. Okay? You can write jointly as a team, yes. Huh? One per sheet, one challenge per sheet. That farmers face and that we as a collaboration might be able to address. So challenges our farmers have, all right? You can take as many sheets as you like. If you need more, ask me. I'll bring you more, okay? But each challenge on a new piece of paper, yeah? So that they don't get mixed up and we can look at them on the wall later, yeah? So,
heißt, du sagst einen dann.
Ich hänge die dann auf
Okay.
und dann kannst du einfach weitermachen.
Okay, super.
Ja?
Tragan fehlt halt noch, müssen wir mal gucken.
Wegen der...
Ja, aber der Christoph oder Ralf ist da, du bist da. Wo ist der Tragan, wie wäre das gewesen?
Bestimmt auch geil.
Ja, auf das ist ihm nicht ganz schlecht geworden
Nee,
ist.
ich glaube, die machen da Interviews.
Nee, der Ralf war ja dort.
Ja, aber vielleicht interviewen sie jetzt Fragen.
Ah.
Hello, everyone. Hello, can you listen to me, please? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. I need your attention, please, for the next little workshop. So Anya was making you work, and it is a good preparation for the next hour, maybe 1.5 hours. So the idea of collaboration is now coming, and I tell you a little bit of story about. Have you heard about World Cafe, the format and the technique? Never? Okay, I will explain it to you. 6 years ago, I was asked from the Bavarian government for the city of Würzburg to start an digital innovation hub. So how do we start? We started like here to have people together, stakeholders, people they know something, they have interest in changing something, and we put them together like you, all together, and we used it, you know, like the World Cafe format. The World Cafe format is just a collaboration and knowledge sharing format. So what you have to do is just give your thoughts to the table. You see the table prepared, and you will see some topics I will explain later, but basically the paper is your platform. The platform, you know, you have to fill out with your thoughts. So therefore you need the markers and your pencil, but write clearly. Clearly, so everybody can read it. The idea of World Cafe is you start with one table, and after 20 minutes you move to the other table. And you will see a lot of information already written on the table. So therefore, take care what you're writing, that others can read what you're writing, because it might be important. It might be important because you can adapt the idea or change it a little bit. So be careful about writing, and you're writing for the next person. We do it 4 times, approximately 20 minutes each round. There will be a host on each table. Christopher is here. He's taking care of the topic. Ralf is going to a table here. I will be on this table here. Dragan will be, where's Dragan? Okay, over there. Anya will be there. Our job is to invite you about the topics, to share your ideas when you're coming in. You know, so basically the topics are written on the paper. I just hold it up. You did? Okay. Actually, how do you start? In the group, you just read everything, and then you discuss it, but make it shortly. Once you have an idea, immediately put it on the paper. So 20 minutes sounds long, but probably it's really short. So don't discuss that much. Once you have an idea, and don't think about it's wrong or right, just put it on the paper. Yeah. So actually, are there any open questions about the format? If not, there is a host on the table. Christopher, you stay here all the time. Are there any questions? Just hold up your hands. Okay. So, are you ready? Okay, Anya's not ready. Okay. This is your topic for the table. This is all over. Yeah? Oh. Hmm? Oh. Okay. Okay. So, you have a question? Are you right here on the table? here, not on here on the linen. So we move it a little bit, maybe here. Yeah, because this is the table, you know, and this is the platform for our communication here. And use the big one, bigger the better. Okay, so you start, you know, reading in the group on the topic, then discuss it, and if you have an idea, put it on the table. Okay, we start. Okay, now we start for the next 20 minutes. I just put the alarm clock on here, and just go for it, and the host will help you. Okay, 20 minutes. So there are 2 minutes left. You stay at your table. And after the 2 minutes are gone, you will move clockwise. Okay. Still wait. We have 1 minute. It's like an open chicken coop. So one minute left. Be ready for leaving your table. 1 minute. So there are only 30 seconds left. And okay. Listen please to me. Listen. Hello everyone. Listen. So the first round is done. Yeah. So what we do is you get up from your chairs, stand up, and move. The whole group moves clockwise to the next table. The host will stay. Yeah. And the host will explain the next topic. And your job is to work on ideas others. Clockwise, yeah. Yeah, this one. So there will be only 1 minute left. So 30 seconds left. Yeah. So you're listening? Okay. So this is the last move you have to do. Go to the last table, and you will find a paper, a big one. Just listen to me here and look. There's a summary paper, and your job is for the next 20 minutes to find out the best topics and best ideas or the most important stuff, and write it on the paper here. So yeah, you have to move to the next table. Yeah, exactly, yeah. No. Yeah, of the whole team. So you have 20 minutes, take your time, but it's important to sort it out or bring it to the point. You know? Therefore, you have to read everything on the table.
One house, please. One house, please. Announcement. We are breaking for tea for 20 minutes. After that, we'll come back and we present our summaries. Then my work will be over and Professor Baker will take over. Thank you.
everybody can see that. And maybe there are questions.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You can settle. Can we settle? Kindly settle so that we can proceed. Just settle where you did the summary. Settle where you did the summary, please. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly get in. Kindly settle on the tables where you did the summary so that we can start this last session.
Take over, then they start, and we go around here. They will hold up the summary, and they will present what they have worked on.
Yeah, but I can invite you also to explain.
Yeah, okay.
I just want to
Okay.
Order, please, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening once again. May I take this opportunity to welcome all of you to this last session of the day. It's a very important day. We are going to look at the summary of the group works and presentation of results. Thereafter, we'll have some discussions. Once we are through with that section, we will move straight away to the closing remarks and some statements from the university. And thereafter, we'll have a sumptuous cocktail. We've organized a very wonderful reception for all of you. And we want to request on the behalf of the organizing committee that I want to request on behalf of the organizing committee that you stay behind and stay with our guest after we've organized for you during the reception. I'm also aware that the Vice Chancellor is joining us at the reception, so kindly let's not leave the Vice Chancellor alone with the guests during the reception. So ladies and gentlemen, without taking a lot of time, allow me now to invite Tobias to take us through this session of summary and give us some of the instructions on how we are going to handle this next session. Karibu sana, Tobias. You know the meaning of karibu? Welcome.
Asante sana. Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I'm very happy how it works. And I'm also happy because you have been so wonderful. The participation and collaboration was great. You know, I've heard a lot of laughter. I've seen a lot of smiling people. So for me, personal, it was really perfect. How each group has a summary. So there's one person determined who's presenting the summary. So the person stands up with a summary or somebody holding it, and somebody is just explaining what is in general happened. So we start with this one here, maximum 5 minutes. And if there are any comments, please feel welcome to comment. Otherwise, we just move over to the next table. Microphone?
Can you hear me?
You don't need a microphone.
Hi, which is better, my voice or this one? This one, eh? Good evening, everyone. This is Team Yellow. Team Yellow, how are you? Team Yellow, your hands up. Hey. My name is Professor Pamela Raburu, Director, Quality Enhancement and Assurance, Jaramongi, Odinga University. On behalf of the team, they felt it was wise that I represent the team. So whatever I'm talking about has been given by the team, and it has been perceived to be of quality. One of the key points on the summary we thought was the creation of the topic, community engagement and partnerships, explore ways in which universities and government agencies can partner with local communities to address social issues. Then, discuss the role of staff members in facilitating and strengthening this partnership. So several comments have been given, and we thought which are key for the communities are creation of model farms. This could be demonstration farms with best practices that other farms could also clap. Give a clap. You just do one clap. Let's go again. Creation of model farms, one clap. Number 2, resource mobilization for communities. In these ones, then the farmers are having limited resources, and this could be used to help market intelligence and also examples of an infrastructure. Just one. Number 3, relevant application software. We just do a one-stop at a click of the hand, and all information the farmers would be able to get. In short, we call them apps. That one needs a double clap. 1, 2, thank you. Capacity building for communities and HR, and we need personnel and farmers to have capacity build. Those could be very wide, so I don't want to go into those examples. Give me one clap. And finally, on behalf of the team, we thought it is wise to set up a climate smart villages where the villagers can demonstrate the best climate shops at the same time, mitigation, adaptation to build community resilience. On behalf of Team Yellow, hello. Thank you very much, and you're welcome to us. Thank you. Please clap until I sit down. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So the next team is over there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And because I'm a man, and with the issues of color, I don't know, this is green? Red. This is red? Green. Now, with Team Red, this was what we discussed, and on our summary, the question was about back to the farmers. Examine strategies to strengthen collaboration with farmers. Discuss how universities can better collaborate with farmers. Now, in our summary, number 1, with the issues coming up right now, there's a lot of mistrust that the farmers are having with the government. And now, number 1, we are starting by building trust so that we engage our farmers. We send text messages so that they also get to believe that we can also provide something that is viable for them and also important. Number 2, I'll not tell you to clap. You'll just clap. Number 2, needs assessment. We really need to know where is the gap, what does the farmer need, and then from there, see a way of filling the gap for the farmer for the betterment of increasing production in this case. Then once you have identified the need, then we are going to do what is called capacity building, train the farmer in the line of that value chain, what is it that is needed, and then at that point, how then do we capacity build the farmer in terms of sensitization, telling the farmer this is what you need to do. Can you clap now, Banda? Resource mobilization after building, doing capacity building, then now the farmer has the knowledge, isn't it? Then now you provide resources. Clap for me that. And then before you clap on the 5th one, promoting farmer-led initiatives, bottom-up approach. So let them. Clap 10 times. Thank you. That was our presentation.
Yes. Give the microphone to the next.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our question was innovation and research collaboration. How can the universities explore avenues for collaborative research with the industry partners? And we first needed to clarify who are these industry partners, because at times we feel like universities and farmers, we are industry partners. But in this particular case, we are thinking it's the input companies, the food processors, those are the industry partners. So what we thought was very important was needs assessment, because there's always been this argument that we train, but we train without knowledge of what the industry expects. So we need to do needs assessment, have some kind of report, and develop our curriculum or review our curriculum based on the needs of these industry players. Once we do that, and we have developed curriculums, we don't need to stop at that. We need to do collaborative research with the industries. They can engage in joint supervision and joint research with us, do tracer studies, and also do joint grant writing with the industry players. Apart from the collaborative research, we need to establish knowledge incubation centers where the knowledge that we have generated from research can be tested, amplified, and pushed out to the end users. Then, other than the collaboration and the establishment of the knowledge incubation centers, we also need to focus long-term, look at sustainability, which would need financial support, exchange programs, consultancy, and then the last step, we are putting dissemination, but I think dissemination should come after each and every step. After needs assessment, you need to give feedback. After curriculum, it has been implemented, you need to give feedback in terms of dissemination and also with the collaboration. Then you go back to needs assessment, because this changes from time to time. Thank you.
Good evening. Yes, this is the Green Team, and we are presenting a summary on sustainable campus initiatives and exploring strategies for making university campuses more sustainable and environmental friendly. One thing that we discussed is that we need to go green. So this is by having the issues of adoption of biogases and even solar energy in our institutions, and even setting up a demonstration within the campus. The other thing is to have government incentives or subsidies to green institutions. Institutions that are going green, then they get the incentives and subsidies. The other issues was on issues on environmental conservation. And this we are looking at digitization, looking at the issue of reduction of use of papers, issues of planting trees. We are saying that we have a number of resources. We have students who can also adopt a tree. You can imagine if we are having a number of 15,000 students, if each student is able to adopt a tree and ensure that that tree grows, then we can also enjoy aspects of the issue of carbon credits. Waste management, reuse and recycling, the issues of e-waste, domestic waste, and office waste, the issue of that management. And the other issue is capacity building on renewable energy. And then issues of policy briefs, very important, on issues of advocacy. This we look at the issues on circular economy and capacity building. Thank you so much. You can give me 5 factorial. Five factorial. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, One. Thank you.
Okay, this is the last group. I believe it's the last but not the least. This is Team Pink. Before we proceed, I would just like to request that kindly don't clap after every point, but you'll give us the Nakuru Declaration clap, which will be led by Professor Palm. All right, we were dealing with digital education and access. This was address the challenges, opportunities of digital education, particularly in a post-pandemic world, and therefore it was supposed to discuss how government, universities, and staff can collaborate to equitable access to quality online education. This was divided into two. The points we have, first we have the challenges, and then we have the opportunities. So this is basically a summary of what each of the groups that went through this stage came up with. That's what we've summarized. So the challenges, one, there is the issue of job insecurity or job loss, whereby people have a feeling that when we have digital education, then their jobs are at risk. There is the issue of infrastructure, digital infrastructure. This has to do with the internet connectivity, power supply. They just, a myriad of issues that fall under infrastructure when it comes to digital education, which need to be looked into. Therefore, it makes it a bit of a challenge. We also saw that there was an issue of abuse of digital space. We all know, those of us, I'm sure, we have all interacted with digital, either in teaching or even conferences and everything like that, and we know some of the abuses that normally come across. For example, we have something like probably lack of commitment, especially when talking about students, whereby we have people, they've logged into the meetings, but you try to call them even to respond, it's like you're all alone, It's like people put, they've logged in, their microphones are off, their videos are off, and you're really trying to talk and call people until you feel like you're all by yourself. So those are part of challenges when you go that way. We have intellectual property right breach of intellectual property right, whereby people feel like when we develop these digital training materials, how will I be paid? Just the challenge of property right, I'm sure you know what we're talking about. Then there is the issue of limited level of interaction. I'm sure we all have had a very nice experience this afternoon with the kind of interaction that we've had during this workshop, because it was physical. This is something that is very limited when we go digital. Okay. Then we have opportunities that we also summarize from the work that was given there. The first opportunity is opportunity for public-private partnership, PPP, which can actually be something, an opportunity when we go digital. There is creation of global village, whereby, the world has become really small. I think that's basically self-explanatory. There is low cost of operation in the long run. Fine, at the beginning it might be costly because of the infrastructure must be put in place. And eventually, after all is put in place, everything will be very, pretty much safe, because even looking for faculty members, we won't have to hire so many people. There are just lots and lots of things that will make it easy to run in the long run. And then there is the issue of flexibility and allowance, whereby once we go digital, we can teach, wherever you are, anytime, anyhow. Of course, again, if you do this digital in the right way that it should be done. Then, last but not least, access to digital material. Once we have all this material developed, each one of us can be able to access it, even that which yourself was not able to develop. Like here we are like maybe over 20 of us. If each one of us developed a digital material, then it means at the end of it all, we will have over 20 digital material prepared for our use, and yet you only participated in developing one. With that, I think Professor Palm, kindly, we deserve the clap.
Just hold it. Hello. Sorry for our guests. We had a retreat for deans and directors recently, courtesy of the university in Nakuru. We had a team building and this clap came from there, so maybe you just hold this for me now that I'm giving you free service. We shall go. Let's try. Let's go. One more time. Again. Repeat. Again.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was a wonderful session, and indeed, we've tackled issues to do with the 5 topical areas. That is the Sustainable Campus Initiative, digital education access, community engagement and partnership, innovation, research, collaboration, and back to the farmers. That was a wonderful session. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, allow me once again to invite those who displayed the summaries just to come, the 5 of you just to stay here for the photo. We just want to take some record, some photo session. Yes, the summary. Those who had the summary. The summary, yes. Yes, just come and stay here. Yes. A simple instruction. Simple instruction. Yes, the summary for some photo session so that we can record. Excellent. Allow also your face to be seen. I think I should also. Thank you. Thank you. So next, ladies and gentlemen, I believe you can see a lot of posters on the wall, and perhaps you are interested in knowing what they are. I can see there are different type of fish. Some are red, yellow, green, blue. Wow, this is an innovation. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to invite my sister Anya Weber to take us through what is on the walls. We really want to know what they are and appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvans. I will be very, very quick. I invite you to actually taste all of these fishes. I'm sure they're delicious. Whatever you put there comes from your heart, very, very deep, and that's what you wish for your future. So please take some time to look at what your colleagues have put on those fishes. They are very tasty. For me, just to give you a quick overview, what I did, the challenges that you wrote down earlier, I've clustered them, and they came out in several big groups. We have low yields, low productivity connected to poor soils. We have poor infrastructure. Climate change came up in every single group. We have post-harvest losses, lack of access to credit or credit facilities, lack of market opportunities. Then we have some individuals ones. We have lack of enabling policies, dependence on rain-fed agriculture, weak research linkages, and weak value chains. We also have here corruption, I think, which is also a topic that may be very important. Land fragmentation. We cannot address as WEIHENSTEPHAN. This needs to come out of your own capabilities. Access to health services. And then here we have another couple of clusters, which is inadequate farming equipment and inadequate skills and knowledge, which is also connected to cultural practices, inadequate skilled labor, and then access to information or inadequate extension services. And the last one is high cost of input, which I think has skyrocketed since Ukraine. So I'll leave you with this. I think once we go into the discussion where we want to take this, or our collaboration, these are the areas of problems that have been identified. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the fish. Which color did you enjoy most? The blue, the green, the red? Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one did you enjoy most? Yellow, blue, red, green, pink. Oh my, it's like you enjoyed all. Can you clap for yourselves? Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, before I sign out, allow me now to invite the next speaker who will take us through the discussion of all that we've done since we started the group work up to this moment. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to invite Ralph just to take us through the discussion part of it. Welcome, Ralph.
So, dear colleagues, I'm totally aware that you take one day for this workshop, which is a lot of time for people having a lot to do. And I really want to tell you, I really appreciate this, that you shared your time with us for thinking about what could be done. And this summary now is just for what we have done in the afternoon, right? And the summaries are summaries from the last people coming to the table and try to put their points. But I think we should open the discussion and put some points maybe in addition. So what you think would be important to supplement about the topics you also have been working for and put things down, which is important for the future, how we will go on. And you can be sure we will have a close look to every word which was written down afterwards. But for now, I would like to open the floor first for you to discuss about this workshop, and maybe we can separate it in two parts. One is to supplement some from your side very important ideas about the topics. And maybe, Tobias, also would be interesting your feedback to this kind of working about the method of this World Cafe, which gives the possibility to everybody to give comments to each of the topics, which is not easy to do in a conference usually. So I would like to open the floor for comments from your side, if you want to add points from the summaries we were listening to, or for the task we will have to do. Is there, who wants to start with the points? Or everybody is tired? Any point from your side for the discussion of this World Cafe, of the topics we have had, and of the results you just have seen? In Germany we say, in such situations, you can hear a needle fall down on the floor because nobody wants to move to be not the one who has to say something. But I've seen here to my colleague.
Thank you so much. There's one point which has come very clear in my mind, getting back to the farmer, and the issue of pilot farms, the village farms. I think our case in Kenya is that the government seemed not to be very keen on what used to be the demonstration farm then. People are struggling around to showcase along the road, researchers and the rest, on some farms. But as a university, I think we should come out strongly to have demonstration farmers, which will have the spillover effect. And that will get them also closer to the university. Thank you. And the pilot farmers or the demonstration farms can also be the centers where we take our students for out of university lectures, training.
Thank you. Maybe I just add and then I come to you. We have in Togo also cooperation. There is a very powerful NGO. It's called PIT, Action in Agriculture and in Villages in Togo. And they have this kind of, they have 10 villages all over Togo, where they started with medical service support, and now they come to agriculture and food also. And this is a possibility to show what is possible. What could be done to support with demonstration farm, just to support you with your point. But there I've seen the next comment.
Thank you so much. I think this was a very useful methodology. It's a nice pedagogical skill. In Kenya, there is something called agricultural technology triangle. A triangle, you know the way a triangle, at the one end is the farmer. On the other side is the extension worker. And on this other side is the researcher. It's a technology triangle. Now, these people are supposed to meet, congregate at the farm. Now, out of the devolution that was done in the constitution, you find that the farmer now is hardly reached, in the sense that extension has been devolved. It's taken to these people called governors in the village, who have other priorities. Now, research is centralized, so it's still with government. Now, the old system was that research was to develop good technologies, give it to extension, extension gives it to the farmer. So you'll see that this triangle has been broken, because research now does their work, extension is not supported, or it is elsewhere, and so the farmer is left destitute. The university, and I love the way you're putting yours there, because it's like you have a direct contact with the farmer. The university therefore needs to fill that void, because the conventional way has been the university trains the extension experts, the agricultural experts, then these ones are supposed to go to the field and then come to the farmer. So you can see that chain is broken. So through this kind of approach here, then we'll complement, you see, we'll want to see, can we work with the farmers directly and impart them? Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments? Please.
Agriculture is not really my background, but something I found intriguing, which really caught my attention, especially came in this particular group we're discussing. And having done a lot of reflection, we will all agree. My colleague just mentioned the aspect of devolution. We know agriculture is one area that has been affected considerably. And today, don't quote me, when you go to those offices, you hardly find these extension officers. The other day we were hearing about fertilizer mixed with sand. Don't quote me again. The point is, there's a lack of trust in what we call the extension officers. As a matter of fact, I don't ever remember the last time I saw an extension officer where I come from. I'm told they're there, but I've never seen one in the last 5 years. I'm being honest, I've never seen one. That is the truth. So I think for me, the issue of lack of trust, for this to work, that trust must really be developed. It must be cultivated. Otherwise, whatever things we are going to do, I guess farmers will just say, here they come again. Maybe there's funding available, now they are running so that they can eat the money, after that they disappear. Thank you.
Thank you. In my own opinion, there are two issues here. One is the issue of, just like my colleague has said, the agriculture department as a whole has been devolved. But there are two aspects that are still remaining at the national level. The aspect of policy development and research. So again now, integrating the farmer and the extension, and right now, extension services are demand driven. Unlike initially, the other constitution where the extension officer could reach you, come to your farm, and nowadays you ask for what you want from the government, which again the farmer cannot find, do not find that easily. They cannot approach the offices just because of the issues of trust which we are talking about here. So again, now the government needs to develop the whole system of agriculture. Since we have the farmers here, the extension are here, but then now those who develop the policies are still at the national level. So that again affect our production even at the grassroots level. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not from agriculture, but I have some view on agriculture, given this experience we have got. I want to say that this workshop of ours exposes the reality on the ground. And it shows clearly that even the farmers have the solutions to their problems, but they are not empowered. The Constitution, I think, is it a Lome declaration which says that the GDP should be around 15%, 10% taken to agriculture. This is not taken as a reality, and if it is given, we wouldn't have problems in agriculture. We have misplaced priorities. We in Kenya feel that we should industrialize without agriculture, and yet agro-based industries would really develop agriculture because there would be direct market for agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you. Just also a comment. One is that we were here to learn best practices. I think the one practice that I've seen here, or that I've practiced elsewhere, is the practice of coming to a round table like this and developing new ideas. We really need to promote this, especially at times when we are being called upon to develop proposals. This is a practice that we really need to advance and leverage on. Secondly, as we promote the aspect of curriculum development, there was an element of research which was mentioned, but that is not coming out very strongly. I think as we develop this and go back to the farmer, we need new ideas being taken to the farmers. And these ideas should be generated from our laboratories so that we own them, we understand them, before we can disseminate them to the farmers. New technologies, IT-driven, for example, irrigation systems. Let us strive to develop these technologies ourselves and then disseminate them out to the farmers. Thank you.
Thank you. I want just to give out my point. It's true, we are having some challenges with regard to extension services in most of our county. And this is what now calls for partnerships and linkages, because we as implementing agencies in the agricultural sector, we are doing and we have the expertise. And one thing that we are doing, even in these areas that we are having challenges with the extension officers, is just building the capacities of farmers who are already in groups and having a lead farmer and a field school whereby they can be able to get some of these knowledge and skills from the lead farmer, who we are able to build the capacity, as well as we are also able to do monitorings to number of farmers. So I believe all is not lost, because maybe in the short term, that is what we can be able to do as the government is able to put back the structures. Thank you.
On the way to give it to the next one, never ever everything is lost. We always have the chance to build a future. Huh? We can do it, 100%.
Allow me to stand, because it has been a long day and my body is telling me I have to be creative in generating energy. There are two issues that bother me. I come from the School of Agricultural and Food Sciences. One, first of all, my background. I have worked with farmers for a total of 15 years as an extension worker, both in Central, in Eastern, Western. And there is one thing that comes out again and again in every community I work in as an extension worker. And that is change of our attitude. There is this issue that for those of us who are now involved with postgraduate students understand very well, that everybody wants to talk about, you know, adoption of technology. When you ask them, what are you researching on? I want to research on adoption of technology. And yet for all this time since I was last in school, we all talk adoption of technology. And yet these technologies that we as scientists developed, very little has been adopted. And I'm seeing two technical issues that we as researchers we have to address. First of all, these people who cannot change and adopt new technology. I think that's the first thing that came into my mind when we sat down and we were writing a sentence. Because we change, we talk, we teach farmers how to change and adopt new technology. But immediately, as a project you pull out from the site, people slowly go back to their old tradition. And annoyingly enough, they tell you, we in Kenya, or we in this location, this is how we do it. So what you told us, we did not adopt, but we did it when you were there. It doesn't, I think studies have shown us that it takes hardly 2 years before farmers revert to what they used to do. How can we change that technology? We in this community, we don't do this. No, we in this village, we don't do this. And yet they know it is correct, they need to do it, they need to change it. And it worked when you are there. How can we change that adoption? How can we change that very negative attitude that is preventing our farmers from taking new technology and just keep on going back to the old one? You know, that is something that has not been addressed. We research and research and research again. But each time you go back, Sisi, allow me to speak Swahili, or even, it's even worse in my local dialect. You know, one, it is we. Here we do like this. And therefore, they go back to their old traditional way. And when you are there, you are still pumping in money. They are very happy. They'll tell you very good statements when you ask them how you liked or why you did not like the project. How can we change that so that when our farmers adopt a technology, they adopt it and stand with it and run with it and implement it? That is something that up to today, I started working when I was 21 as an extension worker, and now I'm retiring in my 70s, and it's still the same thing, and I feel very embarrassed about it. We in this place, we don't do this. We in this place, we don't do this. By the way, I used to be called, because we were among the first few women who worked in extension work, and I used to be called Mama Agriculture, Mother of Agriculture. I didn't know that I was going to be called the grandmother of cricket when I'm retiring. And this Mama Agriculture, they would tell you, this is our plot, because we used to have demonstration plots. They would say, this is our demonstration plot. Then they'll tell you, this is for Mama Agriculture, lakini this one is ours. And that was in Coast. And these hours of theirs, they grow some little maize that you even wonder why they're wasting time on that piece of land. And this one for Mama Agriculture, you can see that things are proved. How can we change that attitude, my dear colleague researchers? Even if you whip them, yes, they will cry, they will take your seed, they will take your everything, they will get increased harvest. But eventually, 2 years, 3 years back, everybody's reverting to the old one. That thing really hurts me, but we don't know what to do about it.
Thank you for sharing your experience and for these open words. I think this is important. And I have two people who wanted to talk. I start here and I come to you.
Thank you very much. I'm actually in the area of health. But in health, we have what we call implementation research. Now, in implementation research, the most common question we ask ourselves, how come there can be a technology, there is a setting where it is working very well, and another setting it is not working? Now, when I refer to that, I'm imagining our situation. Who is a farmer? A farmer in Germany, the way you define the farmer in Germany is very different from our setting. So my feeling is that, why can't we characterize our farmers so that we know we have these kind of categories, and then we can map them, cluster them, then think of capacity building. And when we are thinking of capacity building, we can think of technology, we can think of cooperatives, and then we'll have a working model. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think I want to just say maybe a word or two, and especially try to also agree to the issue of, the mindset change. There's a time I think I got an opportunity to speak to Egerton University, and I was telling them there are some organizations out there doing some interventions, and we can go back and see that actually they are working. But then it's like they safeguard those interventions so much that you cannot get access to it. I think when we were discussing, there was a lot of issues to do with people wanting to own, whether it is innovations or inventions or technologies. And I think that is our biggest problem. Africans and Kenyans, I think we suffer from capitalism. I've worked in the coffee sector. There's a lot of capitalism. People are excelling, but they don't want to share with you the reasons why they are excelling. At time, there are a few individuals who, for instance, are exporting some produce to other countries. There's a research that was done about production of bananas in Kenya and the demand. I don't know whether it was in UK, and we were told even if you take the whole lot of bananas in Kenya, it will not satisfy the market in UK. There are a few individuals who are exporting, but they do not want just to open up, that sector a bit to allow even other smallholder farmers to supply to them, and then they supply. They hide that knowledge. Now the challenge is to us as universities, because some farmers challenge me. You are training us on agronomy. They told me, show us the money. We will give you the quality that you want. What does that tell you? The farmers, especially in coffee, it's not that they don't have the technology. They are demoralized by the produce or the value they are getting. And it's because there are a lot of capitalism in our sectors. Now, that said and done, I think recently there are some organizations that have realized where the problem is, and they have come up with the issue of mindset change. Yeah? If you go, just Google something called sea change, for instance, you will know the owners of the technology. They are employing these techniques, and it has been determined that actually it's working. Now we start with the mindset. If you are not able to change the mindset of these communities, then you're not heading anywhere. Number two, we know, I think you've raised the question, who is the Kenyan farmer? There are studies that show that the average Kenyan farmer is 60 years old and above. Where are these young people who can embrace now the new modern farming technologies? Now, when the 60 years old farmer, you try to teach them new technologies, that's when they tell you, this is how we do it. And they stick to their ways. Let's come up with ways of making agriculture able to make money. We will attract the youth. The youth know how to use technology. I think that's how we are going to unlock this sector. Like it was said, it's not all lost. And I think we are here to develop solutions. My challenge would be, can we send our graduates out there, especially to the NGOs? Some of them have very good technologies documented, but they hide them. You cannot get access to them. How do we get access to them? Either go to a staff that was working with that NGO and has since gone out. But I can tell you there, for instance, those where proposals are sent, there are a lot of wonderful ideas that are shared out there. That's why they keep on getting all these monies, but then you cannot showcase what they have done with the millions and millions of monies they get. If we are to develop this country, the responsibilities with us, especially researchers. It is high time we develop ways of harnessing those technologies, those knowledges, and put it in books where our young graduates can access them and maybe build on them and come up with even better ways of doing farming so that they are able to make money and develop this country. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comment? Then just about knowledge availability. One point from me, it's a little bit in another direction than you say. I have the feeling we never have had an access to knowledge like we have nowadays. There is such a lot of knowledge available using internet. Also for specific cultures. If you would ask me for the student, what is my task as a professor? For sure it's not reading a book in a lecture for them. They have more knowledge in the mobile than I ever have in my head. I have to guide them through the knowledge. I'm a guide through knowledge and give them a red file where they can follow and be successful. That's my feeling. And if I may add another point about the grouping of the farmers and to think about with whom to work and so on. I always have the feeling I do not have to group our farmers. I have to find the farmers willing to cooperate with me. I have to find the willing ones. The other ones I cannot move. Yeah? I have to find the examples with whom I can work and who are willing to step forward and to be successful. And if I have somebody who says, I do not want to change, I will not change. That's my personal experience and maybe yours also. But if you have, and then coming back to you, if you have the examples how sexy agriculture can be, what a kind of income you can have if you do the right things. And I have seen the examples in Kenya, in Uganda, in Togo. There are people even coming outside from agriculture, investing and taking it as a passion to their soul and developing agriculture so successfully and getting really an example how to develop it. And with these people I want to work. And to these people I want to send my students, that they understand what agriculture can mean. That it's a business possibility and to earn income and to be successful in life. So I think also choose, you cannot be responsible for all the farmers in your county. You cannot touch everybody. But and it's not even maybe your task to touch everybody. It's the same as when I was coming saying my task is not to change Kenyan agriculture, but my task is to share knowledge and possibilities. And maybe the same is the case for you here, to find the ones who are willing and interested in to support them, and this way to make a kind of dissemination and to be successful. You know, most of you have children, no? How difficult it is to guide our children. If they don't want to do what you want, they do it differently, and you're the father or the mother, and nevertheless they do something different. Oh? And then we talk about guiding other people and other families. So that's not so easy. So ladies and gentlemen, I think for the discussion we have got a lot of additional impressions. Thank you so much for your contributions. It's a wide field. And if the organizer allows me, I come to closing remarks first from my side before I would give the micro to my colleague Christopher. Is it okay? Okay, you need to say a word.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our partners and my colleagues. It has been a wonderful session and a wonderful brainstorming session. Scholars are always good in generating new knowledge, generating ideas. What is remaining is the implementation. What we've discussed today and what we've displayed as summary, I want to believe that we are going to implement them so that at the end of the day, we can create some changes, we can create some impact, especially to the community, the farmers that are around us. So ladies and gentlemen, I know we've done the 5 topics. We've explored the strategies for making university campuses more sustainable and environmentally friendly. We've looked at issues to do with addressing challenges and opportunities of digital education. We've also looked at issues to do with the innovations, research and research collaborations, where we've explored avenues and avenues for collaborative research and innovation between universities and industry partners. Then we've also looked at community engagement and partnership, which is very key and very important. We've explored ways in which our university and government agencies can partner with local communities to address some of the pressing social issues that the community might be having. And this is the key. What is the role of our university as far as creating some change or creating some impact to the community that surrounds us? And finally, we've looked at how we can get back to the farmers. We've examined the strategies to strengthen the collaboration with farmers, which is key. So ladies and gentlemen, I think we've done much, and what is now remaining is implementation. We've generated very nice ideas, very key, innovative areas that really needs serious attentions. And therefore, I want to urge each and everybody, as we'll be closing this workshop, I want to urge each and everybody that let us stress so much on the implementation aspect. That is when we can now enhance the collaboration between us and the Germany. So ladies and gentlemen, before we come to the closing remarks from both our side and the German side, allow me now to invite our coordinator, and that's the chairman for our organizing committee, to make some communication. Thereafter, we'll invite Schroeder to make a closing remark. And finally, we will invite the university represented by the DVC, Asar, to close this session for us. Welcome, Professor Gore.
Yeah, I'll not take much of your time, because clearly, based on what you have gone through, me personally, I'm going with my basket full in terms of the ideas that have been shared and possibly what to do next. So me, I take home to you all, as we indicated earlier, ask yourself, even at individual level or even at the institutional level, when we are making proposals for research, can we think about the community around the university, or even regionally, or you can even take it nationally? What impact? Because I think from Triesdorf University, that's the message they are sending. And actually those of us who have been able to go there, if you look at the level of agricultural development there, sometimes you may even think that you are in heaven. Yeah, they have done something, and they can point easily that the research they are doing, you can see there. How about ourselves? Can we ask ourselves that question? What impact are we leaving behind? What legacy? Yeah, like Professor Yeko is saying, she is just about to bow out, but when she's bowing out, what can she point back that, yes, see, at least herself I think she can point, but how about many of us? In other words, let us identify problems that are affecting communities around our university. Let us not be an ivory tower. That is my take home. Otherwise, I think my announcement, one, is that clearly this is the first phase of this workshop, which is being concluded today. And tomorrow, we are inviting the German team for a tour in the morning after breakfast. We have suggested some places, but we can still interact with them to know also their interest. Then members of faculty who are also available will be invited. Then we come back after the tour, we have lunch here. Those will be present. Then after lunch, we expect to move to Joost. And here is where there's a proposal. Where's Felix? Yeah, Felix have interacted with us as we go to Germany, and he's a youth. Can you stand so that they can see how youthful? Yes. So he has a CBO called Agri Dairies, and he's just based here at Kesian. So therefore, the recommendation is that as we leave to travel to Joost in the afternoon, the team can pass there and see what he's doing. And also Dr. Nelson, Nelson from Maseno, have also, because we told you, by the way, you are aware that Maseno is is it mother or father? Mother and father, yeah, but the son has run so fast. So now, because he is very active, and we went with him to the digital thinking page, and he did a wonderful job. So I think the German team is also interested to see where he's working and what he's doing. Then from there, we'll proceed to Joost. Then on the 27th, our Dean, School of Agricultural and Food Sciences, will make a program for what was termed intensive interaction between faculty and the German team for possible research proposal writing. So I think the Dean and some staff within the local organizing committee will work out that program for the 27th. And as I'm concluding, can all members of the local organizing committee who are here kindly stand up for 1 minute? Local organizing committee. Sylvans, you are not a member? Yeah. So these people, if there's any success of this thing, they are the people who burnt the midnight oil to make it reach where it has reached. And thank you so much for your good job. Otherwise, I think that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, my boss, for that wonderful remarks, and also recognizing your team. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to again invite Schroeder to make his final remarks before I invite the DVC. Thank you.
Thank you so much. But I think my pre-name is more easy. It's Ralph. The family's names are always difficult, isn't it? I want to come to a conclusion and maybe into 3 different parts. First, I already said thank you to all of you for taking the time. And I always think about the way we are going in our life, what we are doing. And with our colleague, Professor Monica, looking back and saying, what have I achieved? And all of you know, when we are young, we are very ambitious. we are looking forwards for doing something, and money plays also an important role when you are young. The elder you get, money is getting a bit less important, and we are thinking, looking back, what we have done. And we want to see that we have done something sensible, where we say it was worth to do it, and not looking back and saying, what is left? Difficult to see. This is hard when you get older, to say we have not changed something. And that's why this workshop for me personally is important, and I guess, I hope for you also, while running all the time forward in the job. Nevertheless, to find the time to stand and look back and think about what have we reached? Where is the way going on? Not just running, but to find the right way which is efficient and good to go, to know we have an impact. This is, and I think we have tried to do this with this workshop. We tried to think about what is needed. Secondly, when I opened the workshop together with my colleague Christopher, I told we want to discuss together, we, the Germans you can say in this case, but it's also valid for the French and the US and the others, we do not have the solutions for your country. We cannot come and say this has to be done, and if you do this it's right. No. The only thing we can do is to share experiences and to honestly and open-minded to try to find a support for you if you're interested. To share and say, well, in our country, if we say farmer-oriented, we do it like this and that, and you can think about what can be adapted, and maybe to say, yes, maybe this works in Germany, but never ever in Kenya. That's okay. But to talk about collaboration in the way of, I would like even more to say a kind of friendship, and to say we share ideas and time, living time, to do something good for our people. That's the second part I would like to say, to be open-minded and honestly to ourselves about what we are doing and how successful it is and if it's the right way. And the third and last short point from my side would be that Anya reminded me to the words of your former Vice Chancellor, who's saying, yes, we are not equal. The Germans and the Kenyan are in some parts similar, in other ones very much different, but putting everything together we have more that we can do. We can share more ideas, and we can put our different abilities together to be successful for the future. And this is in a world which seems to become more difficult. When we started 2018 it was a different world, totally different. And the future, we do not know what will it bring to us, but I'm sure the only chance to get along with the challenges is if we're open-minded, collaborate together, tell us the truth, and trying to get forward. And this is what I wish for all of us, that we find the right ways, and that we are working together in friendship for the future. And things do not change easily. We need time for this. And that's why only long-term collaboration, from my point of view, can be successful. And from my side, and I think from the side of our team, I can say we are really open to try to support, choose you personally also, as far as possible. We cannot fulfill everything, but the things we can do, we will willing to do. So thank you for your friendship, for your time spending with us together to try to find good ways for the future, for our people and for ourselves. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Raf. We are proud of you. We are proud of the German team, and we are looking forward for strong partnership and a long-lasting partnership. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, allow me now to invite the DVCSR to close for us this workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Silvan. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think I don't have much to say. Ralph has said it all. And just to say again, Ralph, we are very grateful that you and your team, you took your time to come all the way. You just said you came from Tropentag, and again tomorrow. This is not so easy. So it requires dedication to do this. And I think the JUICE team realizes that value. Today, in many times that I discuss with my colleagues, there are issues of people usually looking at phones. For the first time, I saw nobody looking at their phones during the discussions. And I think this really shows the value that we put in this. I remember when we started, we were the two of us, myself and Bernard Mook. It was, I mean, of course I was seeing something, but I didn't know it could get to this magnitude. And so I really thank you. You pushed the wheel, and you pushed us, and now we are realizing the fruits. And to my colleagues, it's the School of Agriculture, basically because of some reasons, because Triesdorf is already in agriculture. But agriculture is actually propelled by many divisions, I can say, many professions. So the climatologists are there, the engineering group are there, the ecologists like myself are there, the social scientists are there. Please find somewhere to hang. When we were making decisions to bring deans of schools here, all the deans of schools are here. We didn't just bring you to escort the School of Agriculture, no. We brought you here so that you can identify a place where you can hang yourself. And when you hang there, you don't hang as a dean, hang as the school. Pull your members along and let's join the bandwagon so that we can all succeed as JOUST and not just as the School of Agriculture. I'm sure the School of Agriculture is also looking for members to join them. So please know that you are welcome in this collaboration. And to the team, I again assure you that the university has given a lot of emphasis. I must mention to you that we worked with the Vice Chancellor yesterday until 3 when I was parting. We started with a team of Christopher. We were writing all that was necessary. We were ensuring that all the arrangements were made. Last minute bookings were done. The Vice Chancellor was there working with me. And so that tells you the emphasis that the university is giving to these collaborations and to many more that we can build on. I'm sure they told you that the doors are open. We can still build many other collaborations. We can still build many more bridges. I encourage you that we do this, and we also build on the ones that you've started. So with these very few remarks, I then take the opportunity to thank you most sincerely and to wish you the very best this evening and when you finally travel to go back where you came from. Thank you so much. Oh, sorry, and yeah, with that then I declare today's meeting closed.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Once your boss has spoken, he has closed the workshop. So mine is just to invite you now to a cocktail. The venue for the cocktail will be the first floor. I can see. I hope you can see some open